On this episode of ResiWeek, Smart Things debuts the Hey Mercedes, as well as residential acoustic designs. All this and more on this episode of ResiWeek.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
This is ResiWeek, episode 248, Lost in the Numbers.
Support for AVNation is brought to you by
Vanco International. Learn the technology behind the award-winning EVOIP, AV over IP system. Become EVOIP certified today.
and by
Peerless AV, driving technology through innovation.
Welcome to this episode of ResiWeek, your weekly roundup of all the latest news and stories for the residential AV industry. I'm your host, Matthew Scott for AVNation.tv. And this week, we are pleased to be joined by three of my favorite people. First, we have Jamie Briesmeister. She is the CEO/boss lady at Integration Controls. How are you, Jamie?
Hello, Mr. Matt. I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for joining us. Then we have Samantha Ventura. She is the VP of Education and Training at CEDIA. How are you, ma'am?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for having me, Matt. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I like the fireplace in the background.
Thank you.
I lit the candle because it was cold because I left the window open. Haggai has no idea what we're talking. I was playing in snow this morning, Haggai. I had a fantastic 30-minute snowball fight with my 5-year-old. It was great. And I won.
It's the same, but nope.
You're missing out. It's a lot of fun. That is Haggai Feiner. He is the CEO of Access Networks. How are you, sir?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. We are going to jump right in with a story that comes to us from CE Pro. Samsung Smart Things is going to drive the Hey Mercedes smart home functionality that is going to be coming in the 2021 Mercedes-Benz S-Class. It's the first native in-car home assistant system that's going to be integrated into a smart home platform, which is really, really cool. Jamie, I want to start with you. I see this and get oddly excited. I think this is really, really cool. Are we ready for this true kind of connectivity between a car and your home?
Are we ready from a technology standpoint? It's there. Is it fully connected, ready for mainstream yet? Not exactly sure about that. I'm oddly excited about it as well, quite frankly. The idea of, pulling into your driveway based on your car and not your phone is really intriguing to me, as opposed to the geofencing that's available in some apps now. I kind of like the idea. It's an interesting opportunity for us as integrators to reach out to car audio installers and car audio businesses, and even potentially forge a better relationship. I know that the best installers are previous car audio guys, so that's certainly another benefit of connecting to that group as well. But I'm oddly excited about it as well, Matt. As far as I'm surprised that Samsung was the kind of go-to choice, though.
Ooh. So I can, yes, I can shed some level of light on that.
Okay.
Samsung and Harman in particular. When Samsung acquired Harman, a large part of that was the in-car entertainment suite that Harman had in, I'm not going to get the number right, but a large number of manufacturers.
Yeah, that
had been standard on Harman in car entertainment or infotainment, if you will, which is kind of where that came from. So that's very, very cool. Samantha, let me ask you this: is this the beginning of more to come, or is this just? I'm trying to separate the difference between, using an Echo for your car, which they brought out, I believe, a year and a half ago to limited success. But using Surrey or using anything on your mobile, as Jamie alluded to, is this going to be the big step that moves it forward, especially when you look at the power of Mercedes and Samsung?
The big step, I don't know if I would say that. I would say an exciting step. And sometimes when we see things like this, they become a little jump, and then we see a lot of things spring from them. I would suggest that that's probably a better way to think of it. Sometimes we have things in technology and you can immediately see them and you're like, okay, this is groundbreaking. This is going to be setting the margin and the foundation for so many other things. I don't necessarily think that's exactly what this is, but I think things like this spark thought and other things, and then that's what keeps it moving. They're definitely hitting a target that loves the experience within the car, the high expensive cars, things that are, a little elitist. And so they're definitely hitting this area too. And I think that there's going to be a lot of room to grow from this particular arena, I think, from my perspective.
Very good. Speaking of elitist, that's a terrible run over to
Sorry.
you. I'm kidding, man. I'm just messing with you. When I saw you were on and I saw this story come up, I got excited for two things. One, I want you to speak to something that they allude to in the article is potentially being time for integrators to partner with automakers. And respectfully to the channel, we have a hard enough time as integrators usually partnering with manufacturers, let alone Mercedes-Benz or Ford or GM or Tesla. But before you jump into that, can you give us some insight? Because I know you've got a Tesla. Is your Tesla, sorry, I didn't want to throw it out there, but does your Tesla do any of these things yet? Is this something that you've played with already?
Sure. Well, the Tesla vehicles are smarter, if you will, smarter. A lot of this is if this, then that type configuration, but you have suspensions that knows the curb and knows to lift the car before you get on that curb, based on your GPS location. So there's a lot of built-in stuff to the vehicle that is far more advanced than what I've seen with other manufacturers. I also have an Audi that's kind of stuck in 2014, and it's a magical vehicle of its own, but it has never progressed. So for Mercedes-Benz to make this move makes sense because they need something new to show. And frankly, in the end, the S-Class, even if it's brand new, it's still an S-Class. And if I was to go buy one, I keep asking myself, why have they not transformed into clean energy? That's the big challenge to tackle. Integration into the home, I think, is more difficult. If someone was to take on it and do it successfully, I see someone like Tesla, who's a tech company making cars, not a car company necessarily making cars, being able to pull it off. And a conversation I had a couple of years ago with Alex from Josh AI is that I thought that, putting Josh in a box was almost limiting the product. And Josh needed to live on any platform that I use, meaning if it's my phone, if it's in my car, meaning wherever I go, I would want that piece of software with me. And when it gets smart and when things get moved forward to a point where something like this is allowed, I totally see your operating system, be it Crestron, be it Josh, be it, Smart Things, whoever's going to get there. I don't know who's going to get there first, but that will be something that travels with you, not something you leave behind. Because right now, I can have the most advanced system at home. As soon as I leave, I'm disconnected and maybe I have an app and I can go and control things, but it's not something that goes along to the next journey with me. Right? Or that I could interact with in a way that would be meaningful to control my car and my house and have them completely sync up with whatever I would like to have them synced up. Let's say if I leave and I play I play my music in a backyard and then I want to enter the car and continue playing the same track. It will take a lot of work for multiple software manufacturers to make that happen. It will probably take less effort for someone like Tesla to make that happen. And my prediction is that someone like Tesla either will partner and create a space within the car that would allow another operating system to reside in, and that would be external to, for example, driving mechanisms and stuff like that is more life safety, or Tesla is just going to do it on its own because it has the ability and it has the ecosystem, just like Apple has its own ecosystem.
Yeah, I vote for they'll
really take over the world, right?
Yeah, that's the goal.
But
at least that's what Elon told me.
I hope that we get to play a part in it, because all of it will be driven by the network. It will be driven by integration. It will be driven by specific tastes of clients who want to see panels in the house. Like touchscreens, or maybe they don't. Maybe it's all voice. Someone's going to need to be there to do all this work, from design, engineering, implementation, delivery, service. It's not going to be Tesla. It's not going to be Mercedes. Guess what? It's going to be you.
Hey, thanks for watching the first segment of this week's episode. To catch the entire show, please click the link below or visit avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.